Now, I get this question a lot. What should my offer be? How low do you think I can go? I have no clue. See, the thing is, in order to make an offer on a house, you have to know the house. You have to know the person. You have to know the area. You have to know. And I don't necessarily know for you. But what I will tell you is make an educated lowball offer. I'll tell you what that is coming up. Welcome back to Investing for Parents. Now, before we get into the video, how to make an offer, what you should offer, make sure you like. You know what? I'm not even going to tell you to subscribe. I want you to subscribe only because this content is what you want to see. This content you like. So if you like the content, subscribe. If you don't, just watch the video and you can move on. But make sure if someone else will find it, you share it. You comment. That's all I ask for this channel. I'm not here to do anything but offer advice and offer a non-generic way of going about things that works. So today we're going to be talking about what type of offer should you submit. Should it be 20% off the asking price? Should it be 10%? Should it be asking price? If you've paid asking price for anything, you've gotten taken advantage of. And in the housing market, when it's a seller's market, that means the sellers have the advantage. Then a lot of people pay over asking costs. I don't know a single house in this world that's worth you paying more than it's worth. I don't know a single one. Because a house, once you get in the house, you make that house your home. So long as it has everything you want in it and the space, you can make your home, your house, anything you want. So to pay more for it doesn't make any sense. And if you're a first-time home buyer, you want to gain equity in that property. So if the house is worth 180, you want to be someplace 180, you want to be someplace around 160, 165 if you're feeling good. You might be able to go lower, but this is what I mean by I say educated lowball. People go about lowball offers very different, and I don't think they understand what lowball means. If I'm selling my house for $200,000, that's what I put it on the market for, and I think it's worth between $190,000 and $200,000, and you come in and you offer me $180,000, that's a lowball offer. If I put my house on the market for $200,000, and I think it's worth between $195,000 and $200,000, and you give me $192,000, that is a lowball offer, because the offer, it's lowball because of what the seller wants in return. The lowball doesn't really depend on the amount it is. It's just what they want in return. Now, people buy emotionally. In real estate, people sell emotionally. Unless it's a foreclosure or something like that, where it's bank involved and it's basically computerized, and you can make an offer and they're like, this is what it's worth. Fine. But people sell emotionally. So in order to make an educated lowball offer, you have to know why that person is selling, how long it's been on the market, what's the comps. Things like that you have to know in order to make a lowball offer. I don't care. If I'm a buyer, I do not care about their feelings, but I want to take it into account. Simply because you could lose a deal over $600 when, if you're taking certain things into account, you wouldn't be in the situation that you are losing the deal. So as a first-time home buyer, this is what I want you to do. I want you to never let your realtor tell you what to offer. Never let your realtor tell you what to offer. Because you don't pay your realtor as a buyer, but they get paid. So if your realtor is getting paid off the house that is sold by the seller, they kind of want it to be sold for an optimal amount of money, and they kind of know how much you're willing to spend, and they kind of know what you're pre-approved for, and they kind of know everything that's been going on with you. So I remember this was my first house, and it was an estate sale, and I didn't really understand estate sale because no matter how much studying you do, no matter how much learning you do, until you're in it and done it, and a whole new world will open up to you. So we were going in to buy my first house, and it was a estate sale. The parents passed away, handed it down to two daughters, and they were selling the house for $195. And I remember being told I could offer $187. And it was a buyer's market back then. And I'm like, now that I think back on it, my realtor really advised me wrong. In a buyer's market and an estate sale in which they really just want to get rid of the property if they're just selling it right away. Yes, they're emotionally attached to it, but it's going to become a point in time, because of the length of time it was sitting on the market, that they don't want to deal with it anymore. And that's why I talk about the education. If you know the situation, you can make an educational lowball offer. Now, I ended up making an offer on that house, and then they couldn't coordinate the two sisters getting in touch with each other. They were taking too long, and the market was fluctuating, and I decided to pull out, right? But now that I'm look back at it, I'm happy I decided to, because as I furthered my education from 7 years ago, I would have been pissed off if my realtor had let me pay $187 for a house that was $192 when I clearly probably could have gotten it for $160 something, considering the circumstances around it. So know the circumstances. Never let your realtor decide what you want to put down in the house. Now, any real good seller's agent, anyone that's posting a house, if they're really good at their job, they're already anticipating that you're coming in to negotiate. So they're adding 10%, 10, 15, maybe 20% on what they think it's cost. Because they know that you're going to go through the process of looking at comps. They know you're going to come back with a lower offer. No one ever just pays market price. So they know all that stuff. So they're usually marked up already. So right off the bat, you probably have 10% that you can work with. Once you get the comps, then you're like, okay, this house is there, the comp is here. Then is when circumstances come into play. Meaning, I know this house has been on the market for 100 days. I know that the house needs this work. I know that it's all about what you know, and then you can offer your price. Me personally, I like to offer a lowball offer on anything that's been sitting on the market a long time. Because even if your offer is low, they'll come back to you and they'll say, listen, we can't accept this, but we're willing to do this. And as soon as they take any amount of money off the first the initial price of what they have it to, I don't care if it's $5,000, $6,000, $7,000. As soon as they do that, I'm in control, because I know they're willing to negotiate now. So from my lowball offer, I'm going slightly less lowbally, knowing that my next offer their offer after this will be closer to where I actually want to be. Now, what I do advise to do though is don't put your offer on paper. Don't actually put it on a contract and go through all that. Have your agent talk to their agent and say, listen, what are they looking for in this house? Where are they looking to get down? This is what my buyer is looking for. And they'll tell you. They should know their clients, and they'll tell each other this is what they're trying to do. But here's the thing, why I don't trust real estate agents when it comes to this. And I'm not saying real estate, whatever. I'm saying if I was in the situation, I would want to sell the house or make sure they buy the house or whatever for the maximum amount of money that my client can afford, because then I'm getting paid off that. It's still a commission to me. So once they've gone back and forth and they come back with that price and you guys are talking verbally, that way you haven't put anything down on paper. You don't have the whole proverbial wait 48 hours to reply to the contract while everybody else is fielding offers. No, you have a quick phone conversation, a quick text message, whatever, a quick call. This is where we're looking to be. This is what we're trying to do. This is what, and that way you're negotiating things quicker. And by the time you put things on a contract, you've already done the negotiations. Now it's just about what you need. And this also something I like to do for all you first-time home buyers. You're going to have to pay closing costs, right? So if you can negotiate let's say you negotiate the price of a house from $200,000 to $180,000. Let's say that's what you came up with. I'm going to say, okay, we've agreed on $180,000. Let's say there's $6,000 in closing costs. Okay, we've agreed on $180,000. I'm going to give you $186,000. Because now I get to have them pay closing costs, but I've given them the money for it. So what I like to do in a lot of my negotiations is I'll negotiate a price knowing I want to add closing costs to it. So I'll ask them to pay closing costs. So I've put it in there, which means they're covered by it. They don't have to take any amount of money off. They already agreed to a price in which they're getting, so they're still getting that price, but they are paying closing costs. That means I don't have to pay it out of pocket, and really that additional $6,000 on my loan doesn't affect my monthly payment, which is the Bible. Doesn't really affect my monthly payment because it takes like $15,000, $20,000 going up in the price point in order for your loan to be really affected, which is not more than like $25 extra. So I'll put that amount of money in what I'm paying them, and they pay closing costs. So technically I'm paying the closing costs, but I'm not paying it out of pocket. So in short, negotiate, lowball intellectually. Don't just try to go back and forth and you want to throw 30% off of a house. Negotiate. How long has the property been on the market? Why are they selling the property? And just all around, try to find out as much information as you can. Never ever let your realtor tell you what you should put down. That's like that's like going into a store and asking, "Hey, how much do you want for this?" Well, I want $12. It's worth $6, but I want $12. This has been Investing for Parents. I hope you find these videos very informative. Like I said, I approach things a little bit different, but they've proven to work and work effectively. So make sure you like, subscribe, come walk with me as I take you on this journey. You are important, your money is important, and making the right choices is important. See you guys next time.